It is now in order to consider amendment number 43, printed in Part A of House Report 118-602. For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, I've got an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 43, printed in Part A of House Report number 118-602, offered by Mr. Perry of Pennsylvania.
Pursuant to House Resolution 1370, the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Perry, and a member opposed each control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This amendment would eliminate funding for administrative expenses necessary for the Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing Loan Program, which provides loans to companies that make Green New Deal cars and to manufacture advanced technology vehicles, so-called, and qualifying components. Like car manufacturing in this country, car manufacturers need an infusion of cash from taxpayers that are buying their cars. This law recklessly spends over $1 trillion, ignoring the fact that the national debt is now $35 trillion and will likely be $36 by the end of this year. The package also includes almost $8 billion in subsidies for electric vehicle chargers, even though profit incentives have driven private actors in the auto industry, independent startups, and utilities across the country to rush to build charging stations on their own. We don't have to subsidize this. Car dealerships are having trouble moving electric vehicles. You know how I know, Madam Speaker? Because they come in and tell me, and they beg me to do something about it. They can't get these vehicles off their lots. There's no need to continue throwing good money after bad, coercing private companies to manufacture Green New Deal vehicles that our citizens do not want, without a reserve.
The gentleman reserves. Does any member wish to speak in opposition? For what purpose does the gentleman from Tennessee seek recognition?
Madam Chair, I rise in opposition.
Okay, the gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I rise to oppose the gentleman's amendment. In my view, the elimination of this funding would hurt federal oversight of the billions in loans the Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing Program has already given. These funds are primarily used for portfolio management and financial oversight. No new loan authority is provided in this bill. ATVM loans will be repaid for many years in the future. Eliminating these fundings puts the ability of the government to receive these payments in jeopardy. We must ensure proper oversight of taxpayer funding. For these reasons, I most oppose the gentleman's amendment, and I reserve.
Gentleman reserves, and the gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. Many have supported this program, but in recent years, it's even more egregious. Recent legislation removed the $25 billion cap on loan authority. So while some folks say, well, the loans are all out and we just need to administer them, the cap on loan authority is now opened up. And it's opened up the program not to just light-duty vehicle manufacturers, but to medium and heavy-duty vehicle manufacturers, trains and maritime vessels. What do you think is going to happen when the government's handing out money without a cap on it? Well, you know what's going to happen, Madam Speaker. You go from 35 to 36, and the debt just keeps on climbing, $1 trillion every 100 days. I know there are people that want this money. Everybody wants government money, but the people that live in this country that pay the bill can no longer afford it. I urge adoption, and I yield the balance.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania yields back his time. The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield to the gentlelady from Ohio, Ms. Kaptur, as much time as she may consume.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
I thank the chairman of the committee for yielding, and I rise in strong opposition to this amendment. And I say to the gentleman who's offering it, I have a lot of respect for the state of Pennsylvania, because like Ohio, you manufacture things. You make things happen in America. And right now, in the vehicular sector, especially in the new electric drive trains, and the leading nation in the world for that is not the United States of America. the leading nation is China. And to a great degree, if you look at the figures, I don't have them here with me on the floor, but what China has done in other sectors is it manufactures over what the market needs. Take steel. Pennsylvania used to be a great steel-making state. It's got shreds of that left. But China manufactured 4 times what the world needs, and then it dumps. It does the same in pharmaceuticals. We understand what they do. You know what they're going to do next? Cars. And the cars they're manufacturing, millions of them, much more than this country, they're going to dump them here too. Because that's what's happening inside the world of global trade in the automotive sector. So I oppose your amendment because I want America to be able to compete and to have all the componentry here, including the batteries, in order to move our population. Hybrids are selling. I don't think the all-electric vehicle is as popular, and you're correct, there were subsidies provided to that, but we are building a supply chain in the automotive sector, and we could lose it. We could definitely lose it because our trade laws are weak. We're an open country. Other places are not. And the Chinese can manufacture. They have billions of hands, really, to work with. Much greater population. And they will strategically target. So I would just ask the gentleman to take a look at that. The funding in this bill includes the people applying $19 billion in active applications for loans, and there's also administering another $19 billion in loans that are either active or have conditional commitments. And let me just go through a couple of them. There's a $2.5 billion loan that just closed in November to support 6,000 construction jobs and an estimated 5,100 permanent jobs at 3 newly constructed lithium-ion battery cell manufacturing facilities in Spring Hill, Tennessee, not that far from Pennsylvania and Ohio. Also Lansing, Michigan, and Lordstown in my home state of Ohio, near the Pennsylvania border. There's a $9.2 billion conditional commitment to finance the construction of 3 manufacturing plants to produce batteries. We're behind, even with all the money we put into research and everything in order to make batteries more efficient. For Ford Motor Company, and their future Ford and Lincoln electric vehicles, which is estimated to support 5,000 construction jobs and 7,500 operation jobs in Kentucky and Tennessee once the plants are open and running. And we just dedicated in my hometown, working with the Koreans, the South Koreans, a Mobis battery facility to serve the Jeep Gladiator, which is going to have a hybrid electric offering to the marketplace. This is all new. But from Automotive America, I cannot accept the gentleman's amendment because we want to beat the Chinese. We want to be the best. And we have to have the help of the government in that because we have to move these technologies faster. So there's an $850 million loan commitment announced in June of this year to help finance the construction of KORE Power, advanced battery cell manufacturing facility in Buckeye, Arizona, to support up to 700 construction jobs and 1,250 operation jobs once the facilities are open. And in all of our labs at the Department of Energy, we are trying to push battery technology to a level never seen before. This takes time, but it is happening, and believe me, there are other countries that are ahead of us. So we are in a catch-up mode, and we are in a pre-dumping mode. So I completely disagree with the gentleman's amendment and urge a vote against it, and I yield.
Gentlewoman's time has expired, and the gentleman